Good evening and welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon Hartley and I have been following a ketogenic lifestyle for 14 months now. I've lost 72 pounds so far. If you are tuning in from YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. And if you would like to receive any further notifications of my upcoming videos, then please press the bell button below, which will notify you of each video of mine that pops up. And if you're watching on my keto journey live on Facebook, then welcome. I hope that you're all having a great evening. And if you haven't already joined or you're thinking of joining my keto journey, if you're watching from YouTube, there is a tab on the top of my banner to join. So I have been asked to do this video for a while now, and I've been asked this question so many times. What's the difference between zero carb versus keto and low carb? So we're going to quickly get through comparing the two ways of eating. So with a zero carb, only animal foods are consumed: meats, eggs, animal fat, and some dairy. Emphasis is on food choices and simplicity. No tracking of carbs or calories is needed. Just eat from allowable foods. Zero carbs means zero cravings after you're fat adapted. No sweet tasting foods are consumed, even stevia. And cost, even though eating expensive food cost is less than an American standard diet due to no extras. So then we have the other side of keto and low carb. So low carb foods are consumed including vegetables. Emphasis is on macros and remaining in ketosis. Tracking net grams and or calories is advisable due to carb creeping. On keto, cravings are definitely reduced but may still come up. Artificial sweeteners are okay in moderation. Cost higher than zero carb due to special ingredients such as almond flour, sweeteners, etc., etc. So there is a difference with eating zero carb to eating keto and low carb. Keto and low carb are also much more stricter on ingredients such as maltodextrose, polydextrose. Anything dextrose is not to be ingested. And also we have a deficit in calories as well, being keto or no carb, whereas zero carb, it's kind of like if it's zero carb, then you can have more calories. But yeah, so they're basically the two differences is with keto, it's more strict on ingredients. With keto, it's more kind of organic, whole food, no chemical, no GMO, no nitrates or titrates or anything like that. But zero carbs is just basically just eating meats and vegetables and things and just keeping it really simple. So if you want simplicity, the zero carb lifestyle is a good one to choose. But if you're wanting keto to be in ketosis and to start burning your fuel source from ketones, then you're going to have to choose the ketogenic lifestyle. Whereas with a zero carb lifestyle, you can still be burning glucose as well, and we don't want to be burning glucose. So that is kind of how they are different, because you can go back and forth within a low carb, zero carb, and not be burning those ketones and not be kind of getting that brain fog and less energy and things like that. A ketosis is what increases brain clarity and focus and concentration, and getting into ketosis gives us energy, and we run off that energy. Our fuel runs off that energy. So ketosis and keto is a much more complex lifestyle, and I feel like it can be followed on through the long term, whereas with a zero carb lifestyle, you're just kind of just like stuck with those meats and vegetables and really nothing else in between. So I don't think that a zero carb lifestyle can be sustainable. It can be for a short amount of time, but our body has ran off on carbs for so long. The body has been fueling off of carbs and glucose. But when we take that glucose away, when we take the wheat, when we take the grains, when we take the pastas, the rice, the potatoes, when we take all the white things out of our lifestyle, then we run on ketones. I haven't really known anyone to do total zero carbs. I get sometimes as low as 10 maybe, and also there are kind of health risks to be doing zero carbs as well. If you get down to zero carbs and you're not having any kind of carbs or any protein or any kind of, not so much fat, but protein in your diet, then your hair's going to fall out. Your hair will fall out. I've seen that happen. It's actually happened to me a few times when I've gone down to 10. So some days I'm just not hungry and I'll just reach 10. And I have started to see like hair falling out. So that's where I've had to increase my carbs. So it is really important that you do have carbs in your ketogenic lifestyle, but between 20 to 50, at least 50 would be the cutoff. No more than 50. If you are breastfeeding or if you're pregnant, then it's going to be like 50 to 100 grams, because you have a growing human and you don't want to take that nutrition away from your baby. So when you're breastfeeding, it's more than okay to have up to 50 to 100 grams, because the baby needs the nutrition from the breast milk. If you do decide that you want to breastfeed up until when you wean your baby off the breast, then you can start gradually going down from 50 grams or 100 grams, wherever you're starting off, and just slowly, gradually go down. Don't quickly go down from 100 to 20. The body needs to adjust, and it needs to get into a keto adaptation, and it also needs to get into a fat adaptation as well. So keto is safe for pregnant women. I've seen people who are pregnant and are following a ketogenic lifestyle, and they have had healthy babies. But my advice, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist or anything like that, but I believe that a zero carb lifestyle is not sustainable at all. It could be like, zero carb. You can eat a lot of zero carb foods, adding on to your ketogenic lifestyle. If you're feeling that you have up to, say, 15 to 20 grams of total carbs a day, if you're doing total carbs, because with total carbs, you're not really getting like a lot to eat. So if you're doing total carbs and then you eat zero carbs on top of your total carbs, that's totally fine. That's totally fine to to have the zero carb foods. And if you are in my keto group, if you are on my keto journey, I do have zero carb food lists that will show you exactly what foods you can have that are zero carbs. And also, like, a lot of people that are having surgery or anything like that, they might not be able to eat a lot of carbs. They might be having their tonsils out, or they might be having their gallbladder out, or some kind of surgery where they can't eat a bunch of food. So, you know, zero carbs, it's like, you know, your bone broth or your vegetable broth or something like that. But yeah, in my opinion, I don't believe that a zero carb lifestyle is one, going to lose you weight, because it's putting the body into a starvation mode. You're not getting the nutrients and the minerals that you need, magnesium and your potassium, all your supplemental things from your food, because we're not bringing dairy into this. We're not bringing nuts. We're not bringing other things into this. You can't have things with almond bread. It's just a zero food lifestyle would be very boring, I believe. But hey, so that is why I wanted to do this video, because I've had it questioned so many times. What is the difference between keto and low carb? The difference basically is the fat that's in keto. You do high fat and moderate protein, whereas if you were low carb, you're not doing the fat. Some people can't do the fat because either they have gallbladder issues, or they might have IBS or some digestive issues, any kind of like bowel diseases or anything like that, where they can't do the high fat, or any heart conditions, cardiovascular, cholesterol issues. Maybe they just, like, it's just a personal preference that they just don't like eating fat, and that's fine, because you can totally do a low carb lifestyle and still lose the weight, still have the benefits. But you know, like, if you're allowing the polydextrose and the maltodextrose into your system, then you might start having digestive problems, where you're having pains in your upper abdominal area, and having stomach pains, headaches, things like that. So, you know, you got to think about what works best for you. But totally a low carb, doing low carb will get you weight loss. It will get you results. It will get you to your goals. It's sustainable to do low carb, just as long as you're not going too low, because you can start losing your hair. And as long as you're adding collagen supplements or peptides or anything like that, biotin, so that your hair's not falling out, then low carb is just as good, if not better, than a ketogenic lifestyle. A ketogenic lifestyle is great, but for some, they just can't do it for whatever reason, and that's fine. Also on low carb, you can have grains as well. You can have those low carb tortilla wraps and things like that, whereas people on keto can't have that. We've basically cut out all wheat, all grains, all kind of things, all kind of foods that are going to cause inflammation. And inflammation is like people that have arthritis or RA symptoms as well, bloating, irritability of your bowels, things like that. Grains and wheat, that's what can happen. And also with adding grains and wheats, that also can cause weight gain as well if you overeat on those certain foods. A lot of the things that have grains and wheat in them have a lot of hidden carbs as well. So, and sugar as well. And a lower carb lifestyle, you're not really like checking your ingredients. You don't really need to track your, so it's kind of like just go along with it. But people who do keto, they do keto differently. So they're either strict ketoers, where they'll track their macros being carbs, protein, and your fat for the day. And it's going to vary on your weight, because it's not going to be all the same. It's going to vary on everyone's weight and height and things like that. And also like how active you are, or if you're sedentary or things like that. And you also have to adjust your macros every 10 pounds that you lose. Did you know that? You have to adjust your macros every 10 pounds that you lose, because then it adjusts your fats and your proteins and your carbs. It will not stay the same all throughout your weight loss. So people who are doing keto, they'll be doing that to achieve their weight loss goals, their healthcare goals. But basically, low carb is kind of like a lazier keto, where they're not really following meal plans or preparing or even doing, like with keto, a lot of us will eat organic foods as well, or eat whole foods, whereas with low carb, it's more kind of, you can have processed packaged foods. And so, like, everyone's different. Everyone's not going to be doing low carb keto the same way. Everyone's going to do it their own way and what works for them. And also, I find that people who do low carb, they might carb cycle, which means that they might have higher carb days than their normal days. So they might do like one day a week, they might have a higher carb days, but stick into their low carb lifestyle, and they can lose weight from that. It's not like a cheating carb day at all, but carb cycling, upping your carbs, doing one higher carb day, one day a week, it can actually help with weight loss as well. But having also said that, a lot of people have digestive problems too. They might have stomach pains or headaches and get back into kind of keto flu symptoms. So with keto, we have the electrolytes. So we have our pink Himalayan salt and things like that, whereas a low carb lifestyle doesn't really kind of go too much into electrolytes. They might still kind of have some electrolytes, but with keto, it's kind of a thing that you have to do every day for your body to really feel good and be in ketosis and whatnot. So, and some people believe that doing low carb is just easier for them because the foods that are low carb is easier to prepare, easy to take to work, easy to get their kids, like, they'll do like them a wrap in their lunchbox, and that's what's easy for them. So you all just need to like choose what suits your budget for one, because with keto, sometimes it can get expensive. With supplements, if you do buy supplements, you don't need supplements, but you definitely need to make your magnesium and potassium levels per day from your foods. And it just all depends, like, what you want out of keto and the health benefits, and like your refined, your unrefined coconut oil, if you're going to do that in your coffee, your MCT oil, that's going to cost more. Things like that, you know, like heavy whipping cream, organic eggs, excuse me, cage-free eggs, that kind of thing. So yeah, a lot of people kind of do what suits their lifestyle, and that's fine. And I've seen people have results on both. And I guess I've actually seen members that are doing a low carb lifestyle I've noticed that they're lost more inches than they have actually like weight in pounds. And it's great to lose inches. They might not be losing so many pounds because they might be working out. It just all depends. If you're working out, then your body is going to create lean muscle. And they always say that muscle weighs more than fat. Well, if you look at what fat looks like, it's rather like really big, but muscle is little, so it takes up a small amount of room, but it's dense. It's very dense. So you might have like two people at the same weight, but they might both look different. One might look bigger than the other, and it's not that. It's because they're, I don't know, doing anything different, but it's just that we're all built differently. We're all going to be proportioned differently. Like with myself, I'm small on the top, but I'm bigger down the bottom. I've still got the big stomach, and that's really getting hard to lose. And it gets kind of like an apron type belly where you might need to fix it with surgery or just toning up. But anyway, getting back to low carb and keto, that is the difference. They're the two differences. So I hope that I've answered those questions that you've been asking or that you've been curious about. Because for a long time, I didn't know really what the difference was either until I did research. Research is always great to do your own research. So I hope that you tune into my next videos. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please feel free to subscribe. I appreciate your support. And if you want to be notified of my next upcoming videos, which we're going to be getting into addictions. We're going to be getting into carb addictions, sugar addictions. You're going to hear about my story about addictions. So yeah, stay notified. Keep in touch. If you have any questions or comments, please comment in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Love to hear your feedback about these videos, if they've helped you, if the information has been helpful for you. Okay. Take care, guys. Keto on. Bye-bye.